So, all right, so the first card you've got for your past is this Three of Wands. So before I talk about the Three of Wands, this looks like looks a bit of a complex spread. I'm getting complex feelings here. I'm seeing being left in the dark by someone. I'm seeing a very confused situation. I'm getting you feeling very confused, and I'm getting someone else feeling very confused here as well. So I just want to say that first. Yeah, very, very complex. It really feels like that. It feels like a spider's web, and I need to find my way out. So hopefully it won't be too complicated. Hopefully it won't be too confusing. Hopefully, if this is you, if you feel like that, I can lead you out of this spider's web. I hope I can. I'll try my best. So, okay, so with this Three of Wands, obviously this is about waiting. So it feels like you're waiting to find something out about someone that you're in a relationship with, or you're in some kind of love connection with. I'm seeing that already. They're also waiting, or they're trying to deal with something and they're waiting for it to come to an end. I'm seeing that very, very clearly already. So I'm getting this kind of energy. So it might be that you're not around them right now. It might be that you're physically separated for some reason right now. And I think if you're in a long distance situation, or if you're not around them right now, I think any kind of gap that's between you, it exacerbates any feelings you already have. So if you're worrying about them, maybe not contacting you as much, or you're worrying about something else that's happening around you, or around them, I should say, it exacerbates that, because what happens is you start imagining what you can't see. So that's what I'm getting there. I'm getting that kind of energy. I'm getting lots of love energy. It feels like there's lots of love traveling backwards and forwards between you over the skies. Look at this beautiful golden sky here that this man's looking out onto. So what I can tell you is there's love. There is 100% love between you. You might be wondering, if you're in this connection, whether they do love you. You might be thinking, are they going to disappear? Are they going to ghost me? Especially if they're away from you right now. You might be thinking, oh, they spoke to me yesterday and today they're not, or they haven't spoken to me for a while, or they, are they really busy, or are they saying that? So I think I'm getting two problems here. I think one of them might be that it's very difficult for you to sort of differentiate between feelings of anxiety, feelings of worry about someone, and whether they're your instincts. Because I think you say, well, I'm going to follow my instincts. My instincts are telling me this. But then sometimes you think, well, are they my instincts, or is it my anxiety? Because I think you got this anxiety from a relationship you're in your past, I think. I'm getting a big relationship for someone here, if this is you. Big relationship in your past. And I think when you fell for this person, you really fell for this person in your past. You absolutely fell very deeply. And you just jumped in. When you jumped in, the instincts flew away, or you threw them away, maybe. And, if you throw your instincts away, they're like a map. You use your instincts to show you where to go, who to be with, who to be away from, where to go, what to do. But when you throw them away, you don't know where you are. And so I think when you were with this ex, you just didn't know where you are. You were completely lost. And I think they liked that, this ex you're with. I think they liked you being lost, because then they could control you. I'm getting that with someone. So, it's really interesting. You've got the Fool right next to this as well. And, the Fool doesn't have a map. He just explores wherever he wants to go. He doesn't think. So part of that was, I think, with this ex, if that's you, was that you wanted to throw the map away. You were bored with the map. You were bored with following in the way you were going. You wanted excitement. But then, that there's that side, and then there's a side of being over the cliff and looking at the view and thinking, oh, this is amazing. I've never experienced this before. And then there's falling over the cliff, which I think is what happened. And so I think sometimes, just looking at this Fool, I think sometimes you look back on that time and you think to yourself, I was such a fool. I was such a fool to be with someone like that. How could I be with someone like that? But if that's you, I don't want you to blame yourself. I don't want you ever to do that, because you were just someone who was in love. You were just someone who trusted. You were just someone who fell deeply in love with someone. So never say that to yourself. But I do think that you did lose some of your instincts, or you lost your confidence in your instincts after that happened. And now looking forward to the future, or in the situation you're in, or any other situation, even with friends, I think sometimes you think, well, are my instincts correct? Because they kind of broke when I was with this other person, and now I don't know if I can trust them. So I think if you're with someone right now, I think that might be the situation you're in. It's because you're going through this process. You're going through a process of learning to trust your instincts again. And in that way, you're learning to trust yourself again, because your instincts are a core part of yourself. They're inside you. And if you lose that, you lose yourself. So you're getting yourself back. Right now, I know that sounds a little bit cringy, but I'm getting that. So back to this situation. If you're in a relationship now, this is what I'm getting for someone who's in a relationship. There's a bit of a torn feeling. So it's kind of like, I keep on getting this anxiety. It's like, okay, they're not around me now. I've got this feeling that someone might be around them. I've got this feeling they might be in a third party. I think that's what your worst fear is. But you don't want to think about that. You don't want to think that that's a possibility. But I think in the back of your mind, you might have that. Or you might be thinking, oh, maybe they're being with someone else, maybe they're going out partying, maybe they're having fun, maybe not in this climate, but enjoying, maybe they're talking to someone else. You might be worrying about all that. And I think maybe you do that when they don't talk to you, or they're late to get back to you, or whatever it is. Your instincts or your mind starts wandering into that territory. So the other thing I'm getting here is there's a very complicated situation around them. So, and I think that they've had a very complicated past. They've got a very complicated relationship history. I think they're still tying up some ends in that past relationship, or in a past relationship. And I think you might know about that if that's you, or you might not. But they're dealing with that. Now, the other thing I'm getting here is, I know I'm going all over the place, but I'm seeing so many things here and it's very complicated. So just bear with me. Hopefully I'm making sense. The other thing I'm getting here is, with this Ace of Wands, passion, lots and lots of passion. You might feel as if you're being kept in the dark by this person. It feels like they want passion with you and you feel very passionately about that. There's a lot of passion in this relationship. But because you're being kept in the dark, or you feel like that, some of that passion might have left, because it might be that you're thinking, well, I want passion with them. I want that side of things, but I don't want that with someone who's not going to be honest with me. And it feels like they're keeping something from me. So maybe that's gone down a little bit in this love connection because of the way you're feeling around that. You feel that something's being hidden from you. Now, if that is you, if that's your situation, what I want to tell you is, they love you. They don't have any other person they're dealing with. They don't have any other person they're in love with. They 100% love you. But what I am getting is, there's a situation that they're in, and it's with their ex. I don't know if they're going through a divorce. I don't know if they're going through a very difficult, sticky situation. They're tied in with something. It might be to do with assets, might be to do with a business. It's some very difficult situation. They're trying to get out of that, and they're trying to clean that up. And if you look at the back of the Ace of Wands here, there's a clean slate. It's a clear background. That's what they're trying to get before they can give you their all. They want to give you their all now, but because of this complicated situation and all the stress and everything that's around that, they feel as if they can't do that right now. And that might be why sometimes the communication goes off a bit. But the problem is, they really should open up and tell you this. They should tell you that this is going on. But the big worry they have is, if they tell you that they're still having a problem with this ex, they're still trying to tie things up with them, they're still going through with that. If this is you, that if you find all that out, you might think that, that they're still involved. I know that's a very, very specific situation, but I am seeing that for someone, so I have to say this. So what I want to show you is this. So if you're feeling that there's a third party, I think this ex, or this ex of theirs, that they're moving away from, I do think this ex of theirs does think that there's hope there, that they might get back together with this person you're with, or it might be that they're causing lots and lots of problems to stall this process, so that it's taking a long time, it's causing them a lot of issues, it's causing them a lot of stress. There's some problem that they have, there's some mixed up problem in their head, this ex of theirs, and they're kind of causing problems, they're stopping this from going ahead. But what I want to show you is, if you have a look at this Three of Wands here, okay, this is what I want to show you. This man's standing here. He's looking out into his future, and it's a golden future. They see you in their future. They see you as their golden future. They want a future with you. This is what I'm seeing. There are two wands, one at each side of this man. That represents the two of you. They want you to be together side by side in this future. But there's another one behind him. You can see that. That's the ex, and they're still in the picture. Not because this person you're with wants to be with them. They absolutely do not. They only see a future with you. But this other person's hanging around. Either they still want this person back, or they're causing problems out of anger. They're very mixed up in their head. And I think this person you're dealing with, if this is you, if this is all making sense to you, they're trying to clean up that mess. That's the kind of situation I'm getting here. And if you look at the Nine of Wands down the bottom there, you can see that he's trying to get away from the situation. So they're messed up in their head. I shouldn't say messed up in their head, but their head's been meddled with, because they're dealing with this very, very difficult person who's mixing things up, causing problems. And this man's a soldier. So he's been through a battle. He's coming forward, but I've got to tell you, it's going to be really, really slow. Because this other person's causing a lot of problems. They're slowing things down and all that kind of thing. So that's the situation I'm seeing here. But what I want to tell you is, they should open up and tell you this, and I think this is a problem that you've got. And I think you might have said that to them. Are you hiding something? Is there something you want to tell me? If there's something you want to tell me, please come out and tell me that now. I need you to be open with me. It feels like they haven't done that. But what they're hiding isn't anything bad. I think they're just hiding all this complicated situation with this ex. But whether they're hiding something good or bad, they still should be honest with you. And I think that's the problem you have if this is you. But I think their worst fear, and why this is all happening, is that they don't want to lose you. But if they don't open up to you, they might lose you. So it's a very complicated problem. I know this is specific, but I'm seeing this very, very clearly here. So I really hope the right person gets to hear this. I hope this gives you some clarity if this is you. I can't see whether you're going to end up, being happy with this or not. It does grate on you that this person is not opening up and telling you everything. And I really think if they opened up, you could help them out. You could help them with this. You'd be able to see everything clearly. The other thing is, they might be afraid that this ex of theirs might contact you and bother you. So that might be another factor as well, because they're dealing with a very, very, very difficult person, if that makes sense to you. Okay, right. So the first card you've got for your present is this Fool here. So, okay, I'm seeing something completely different here. It's a relief, actually, because that's a really complicated situation. So, okay, so I think I'm getting this feeling, because sometimes when you look at the Fool, you think, oh, this is a fool. I don't take them seriously. I can't really take what they have to say seriously. They're a fool, basically. So it's this, I'm getting this feeling around you that maybe you're not being taken all that seriously. I'm getting the workplace here, because the Three of Pentacles can be about work. It can be about people in the workplace. It can be about people you're being forced to be around that you don't really want to be around in the workplace specifically. So I think what's happening with you, and I think this is what's happening with a lot of people. I'm getting this in a lot of readings. And of course, with what's happening in the world right now, you can see why it's coming up a lot. I think what's happened is, you're in this job, you're in this workplace, and you're like, okay, I'm not all that happy where I am. It's okay, it's fine for now. I'll stick with what I have. A lot of people don't have jobs, so I just need to put my head down, do my work. The world's very uncertain right now, so I'll just stay where I am and it's fine. So I'll just keep on doing that. It's not really where I want to be, but that's okay for now. So I'm getting that kind of feeling. I think maybe that's what you've been doing all year, if that's you this year. So yeah, just keeping your head down. I'm getting all that. But I think what happens is in this workplace, if this is you, when you stick your head up from having it down, when you stick it up and you say, well, what about this suggestion? What do you think about this? Or, here's a good idea. What about this and that? You're just not listened to. You're just not taken seriously. Someone pushes your ideas down, or they just ignore you, or they dismiss you. And you hate that feeling. No one likes that feeling of being dismissed. And I think it goes back from being a child with you, that, maybe someone at school didn't listen to you. Maybe you were dismissed by a teacher. I'm getting that feeling of holding your hand up and having the answer and then being laughed at. Maybe the children at school laughed at you. I'm getting that kind of memory. So it triggers that off in you, probably more than would other people. So I think you're getting that feeling, I'm not listened to, I'm being treated like a fool here. I'm very unhappy. I don't like the people I'm around. I'm getting that. So if you're thinking about branching out on your own, which is I think what the Fool can represent sometimes, I think it'd be really good for you. So, if you look at the Fool and the Three of Pentacles together, I think you're where the Three of Pentacles is right now. It's a kind of a dark card. When you look at that, and the Fool, the Three of Pentacles is really dark, and the Fool is much lighter and yellow and bright, and it's the sun. So at the moment, you're being forced to be around certain people you probably wouldn't choose to be. Now, the thing is, it's not totally unbearable. It's not like, oh, I have to get out now, I can't bear this. It's like this constant drone. It's like there's a drone in the background. It's like, oh no, I have to get up in the morning. It's not that bad, but I don't want to be here forever. I'm getting that kind of thing. But at the moment, I'll just put my head down. I'll just put up with this. Okay, fine. If you look at this Fool, it really looks like he's leaping out of this Three of Pentacles. And he's saying, I'm free, I'm free. So that's what that's showing you. If you make the move, or if at least you start planning now, when the time comes, you'll be ready to actually move forward. So start planning this business or this self-employed idea you've got, if that's you, to branch out on your own, because I think you'll be a lot happier. And the other thing I'm getting here is, if you do go out on your own, if that's something you want to do, you'll increase your money. Because if you look at this Three of Pentacles, there's an arrow around the Three of Pentacles. It's like a triangle, and it's pointing up into the Fool. So if you leap out of the situation you're in and you go out on your own into Fool territory, which is scary, because when you're standing on the edge of a cliff, it is scary. But if you do that, you'll increase your money. You'll get more money than you've got now. Not right away, obviously. If you start a business or anything like that, you don't earn money right away, usually. But eventually, you'll surpass the money that you're earning now. So I think that's what that's telling you there. So, yeah. Start planning now, start doing that now. It feels to me as if a time's coming where, there'll be a switch in your head and you'll say, right, it's time to move on. So get ready for when that time comes. Yeah, this is what I'm getting. Okay, I'm seeing this really clearly. I'm getting something in writing. It looks like something that's written down. It's on a screen. It might be an email. It's something that you read. Now, it's a shock. It's not a huge shock. There's no tower here, but it feels like it's something that, it's not a good feeling, I have to say. It's almost like, okay, I feel even more of a fool. It's something that someone's saying about you, but it's in writing. It might be in an email at work. So I think what's going to happen is you're going to see this. It's not good. I have to be honest. It's not a good feeling, but I think that's going to push you out of this, and you finally go to say, right, that's it. I'm going out on my own now. Enough of this. I can't put up with this anymore. It's like a trigger. And it's not a good feeling, but it's good for you because it's going to push you out onto your own. And it's just like, right, that's it. I'm leaving. I'm going out on my own. You're not going to get up and walk off. It's nothing that dramatic, but it's kind of like, that's it. Once that switch goes off, you're going to make up your mind and you're going to move out of this workplace. You're going to start really, really ramping up the planning. You know, you've got the death card down here as well. That means the end. So it's the end of that time. Doesn't mean you're walking out. Once again, it's the end of putting your energy into this workplace, and it's the start of you putting that energy into yourself. It's like, no, if people don't respect me, you know, I'm smart, I've got a lot to offer, I'm intelligent, and I'm going to use that brain of mine to line my own pockets now, to give to myself now. I'm not giving to these people. They're not giving to me. They're horrible to me. They don't, you know, they don't treat me properly. I'm undermined. They don't listen to me. I'm not going to give them my brain anymore. I'm giving it to myself. So when that switch goes off, that's when you'll start planning this properly. I think you'll probably start ramping this up probably in the new year if that's you. Okay, I probably shouldn't say this, but it's for someone. If you've got clients that you talk to regularly in this workplace, I think they'll be happy to follow you. Let's just say that. I'm not saying go around poaching people, but I do think if you did say, well, I'm thinking of doing this, oh, we'll follow you. I think that's what some people are going to say. Just saying. But yeah, it's a very, very good move for you. And I think that's really going to help your confidence as well if you do that. Okay, this sounds a bit strange. I think this is going to be a bit odd sounding, but I'm going to say this anyway. I'm just getting this. I'm getting a book, or it might be some kind of manual, something written. It's like a product or something, and it's got information in this product. People are going to use this. So yeah, people are going to be really helped by this. So if that's something you've got on your mind, if it sounds like a book or some information or some kind of material to help people, there's a lot of success around that. I'm seeing writing. Yeah, I'm seeing if you've got an ancestor or some kind of grandparent or parent or someone in your past, if they did some kind of writing, if they're an author or poet or writer or something like that, yeah, you're supposed to carry on that legacy. You're supposed to be that. You're supposed to do that. So that might help you in that direction you're supposed to go in, if that's you. Again, I know that's specific, but I'm seeing that for someone. So I hope that gets to the right person. You're supposed to be sending out material that helps other people if that resonates with you. Okay, right, I'm seeing this relationship now, very complicated, I know. Yeah, it's in the Ten of Swords up there. So I'm going to go on to your future right now. Okay, so, right, so you've got this Ten of Swords up here, first card in your future here. Now, when you've got the Ten of Swords and Death in the same spread, obviously it's the end of something. It is the end. There's no going back when you've got those two together like that. So what I want to tell you first is, it's not the end of your relationship unless you choose. So this is all down to you. It's all your choice now. If you want to end this, if you're in this relationship, if you feel as if they're not telling you everything, they're not opening up to you, if it's really, really getting to you, you might decide to end this relationship. If you decide to stick with this, I do think there is a chance for you to stay together in the future. If you decide to do that, it's completely up to you. Now, okay, so yeah, the Ten of Swords, I'm just looking at this Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords can be about fighting to the death. You know, fighting and fighting and fighting till you just drop, like this poor man. He's dropping down, he's fought to the death. So again, I think they're trying to get themselves, this person you're with, out of some kind of very, very complicated situation. And they've got this person around them, this axe, they're up against it, feels like an axe, definitely. Now this axe, or whoever they're fighting, is fighting to the death. They're either wanting this person back, once again, I'm seeing that again here, or they just don't want to let go, or they're just kind of fighting and fighting to stall this, to kind of cause as many problems as they possibly can for this person that you're with. Now, there's a bumpy ride ahead of you for the two of you, I have to say. I have to be honest and say this to you. There are going to be times where they stop communicating. They're going to stop for a while. They're going to come back again. There's going to be, excuse me, a bit of mystery around why that's happening. It might get a bit too much for you. You might just say, no, look, you're not talking to me. You're not telling me what's happening. I'm in the dark. I need to know what's going on. You must be honest with me. Because the more they do that, the more your mind goes into overdrive. What are they doing? Are they with someone? Are they this? Are they that? Are they ghosting me? Are they leaving me? All these things go in your head. And they really need to, even though I can see all over this, that they're not interested in this act. They're not interested in anyone else. They love you. They don't want to lose you. But the problem is they might do that. They might do that because they're not being open with you. That's what might happen. So there's a chance that might happen if you get fed up with this. But I think, okay, I just want to tell you this. I just want to show you this, what I'm seeing here. If you look at this Knight of Wands, okay, right down the bottom here, you've got the Knight of Wands. This is this ex or this person that they're trying to battle, this person that they're trying to cut ties from here. Now, the Knight of Wands is jumping up and down. He's disheveled. He doesn't quite know what he's doing. So this person they're up against, they're not in their right mind. They're going up and down. They're all over the place. They're causing them problems. They're, up and down all over the place. Look at where this horse is heading. The horse is looking directly into the Death card. I'm not saying their ex is going to come to death. That's not what I'm saying. But there's going to be a time very soon coming up where they're going to face the fact that the situation that they're in is dead. There's no hope for them with this person you're with. There's no going back. So they're either going to realize that there's no hope for them to be with this person you're with now, if that's what they're hoping for, or they're going to realize that there's no point in prolonging this, causing problems, jumping up and down, being difficult. There's no point in that. It's coming to an end. It's at an end anyway. So what's going to happen is they're going to walk away from this. And then there's going to be that clean slate that this person wants. And then they're going to come forward to you properly, because above that Knight of Wands, you can see there, you've got the Knight of Cups. So that's when they're going to come forward to your love, or to you with their love, I should say. Now, that sounds beautiful. And I think if you accept that, I think you've got a beautiful, happy ending with this person, because they love you. They don't want to lose you. But the problem is, you've still got that idea in your head, or it's not an idea, it's the truth actually, that they haven't been open with you. That they've kept you in the dark. They haven't told you everything. If they don't tell you everything, if you're telling them, look, you need to be open with me, and they're not doing that, it's like, well, don't you think about me? Don't you think about how that feels for me? Aren't you thinking about me? You want everything tied up for you, but what about me? I'm sitting here in the dark. I don't know what's happening. You can't do that to me. So I think what you're going to have to do is, if you decide, you might decide before this. It's a very complicated situation, so I can't quite see exactly how this is going to turn out. You might decide that, no, I'm in the dark for too long, I'm walking away from this. You might decide to hold on to this. If you decide to hold on to this, I am seeing them totally walking away from this situation, totally clean slate. They're going to put this behind them. They're going to be able to come to you, but they've still got that in their mind that they can keep things hidden from you. And if you want to go ahead with this person, if you want a future with this person, you might be looking at a future of them doing that down the line, unless you do something about that, or you discuss that, or you try and remedy that problem.